man, this heater was just such a great investment. My little toesy woesy feels so warm.
Wait. You guys like to play a game for not jacking off the longest for a whole month? What do you win?
New car.
Yeah, who's gonna give you a new car?
Playing.
Me and
Who's
Vic.
gonna give you a new car, Jesus?
We got a sponsor from Kia. I mean Kia.
A Kia Sonata.
A Kia Sonata. Now you wish you didn't nut, didn't you?
The Kia Cilantro.
I don't want that car. That's gross. Cilantro's disgusting.
Saying, do you have a passion for fruit?
This is an ASMR podcast.
Hot food take. Cilantro's bad.
Are you just eating it by the handfuls?
Any form.
Oh no!
Any form of cilantro I don't like.
It actually tastes pretty good, sprinkled on like a Mexican salad.
That's the worst in my opinion.
That's when it tastes the best.
Yep, cilantro bad.
You don't like it on a good
I don't like it on anything.
You like a good old omelet?
Any time I taste cilantro, it's instantly 5 points lower.
Do you just not like the flavor, or does it taste like something specific?
I don't like the flavor of cilantro.
It's just a green leaf.
Yeah, it's gross.
Just a green leaf.
And it's interesting because it's like a... Well, I don't know about my brother. I don't think he likes it, but I know for a fact my dad doesn't like it. He's very much so like me, except for I think it's even worse for him because he basically ruins the entire meal if he tastes cilantro on his food.
So you'll power through it if you do taste
I'll power through it, but I'll dislike it. My dad will be like, oh, freak. He just cursing the entire meal. He's like, why did I forget about the cilantro? I need to tell him to no cilantro. And so it got to the point where every time we go to a Mexican restaurant, I'll look at the menu and see what he's ordering, and I'll see if it's got cilantro on it. So if he forgets, I can tell them for him.
That's very nice of you.
He's like caught me a couple times. He's like, oh, thanks, Cole.
You saved me.
You saved my meal.
See, all my family on my mom's side, they like olives.
Olives?
Yeah, I don't like olives.
And all of you, welcome to the Talking Rad podcast, episode 189.
Me too, Thane.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Thane. Go back into the olives.
Thanks, guy Cole.
Today, but tomorrow may be different.
We should do a thumbnail.
All right now.
Mid show? We're in the show already.
We're in the show already.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure editor Jamie's just going to leave this in.
There we go.
How about this one? So I'm going to bring up the topic. There you go.
See, mine was also in lieu of bringing up a topic as well. My topic's much more fun, so if you have, like, sad topics, we should do yours first.
Mine's...
I don't want to end on a sad topic.
I don't know if mine's fun, but I don't know. It could
Mine's just a fun conversation.
I posed a question.
Pose it.
Wait, before we go there, do you want to talk about your olive thing, or?
All my family.
Sorry. The transition was so good he forgot about his topic.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Stop!
Olives.
Do not dab on this show. God.
Oh, that's two. Good luck editing both those.
We'll get three. We'll get 3 dabs by the end of the night. I promise.
No, you will not. Here's the closest thing to dab you'll ever get.
He just gave you
Photoshop.
an X. He did a
Hold
like
the thumbnails.
American.
He
American
could take
Idol.
your arms and
Maybe
make it into a
maybe
dab.
that could also
I'll
be
just get the Photoshop like AI filled in thingy that says "Make this man dab." I'll just type that in and I'll do it.
You got arm right there. All let's do is go over my
Make
eyes.
the man dab. So when I was making it, oh gosh, I'm sorry, Thane. I'm gonna say it though. When I was making your thumbnails, guy, I tried to make it give you elf ears, and only one of them looked good, but it was like really old looking ears.
Oof, old man ears.
Okay, I'm sorry, Thane. Sorry, not
What I
sorry.
wanted to say was that all of my family on my mom's side loves olives. I don't like olives.
Do you like black olives?
No, not at all.
Green olives.
I don't know. I don't.
If I had to, I'd eat a black one. I really dislike green ones though. Greens are bad.
It's like the ones you see on the sandwiches and the martinis. Yeah.
I think I've had a green olive once and it was fine. I think I prefer black olives, but I haven't ate enough green ones to know.
I had this meal once, and I don't remember what it was or what it's called or anything. I just know that it was like almost like a Hot Pocket like style thing, but the middle of it was one green olive. I enjoyed everything but that middle bite. And so I would just do it in one go. I would take a couple bites, and then I get to the green olive. I'd bite it, and like sometimes I would chew it, and sometimes I was like, you know what, I'm gonna freaking whole swallow this olive, and I just swallow it, and I just start drinking my water or whatever I had. I did like 3 or 4 of them, I think.
And it's just pull it off.
I don't know. Somebody made me food. I thought I'd feel bad if I didn't eat it.
I've definitely done that where you just power through a meal.
Yeah.
And then you do that gulp. Thanks.
Yeah, I freaking just like, when I was swallowing it, I was like, whew, my
I'm-
swallowing game. Wink, wink.
I'm that guy. If like I see something I don't like on it, if it's something I make, I like.
So what's interesting, Thane, and maybe you can enlighten us on this, because I definitely, out of us 3, see you as the least picky. To me, you're the guy that will just eat all of it. You'll just eat.
Even if there's something you don't like.
Yeah, if somebody gives you something, you're just going to eat it.
Yeah. I don't know.
So is there like a food that you refuse to eat?
Like no matter what.
Like you can't choke it down. It'll make you like gag or something.
I don't know. Well, if I eat,
Because like even olives. If an olive was, like let's say somebody screwed up your order and there's
Yeah.
olives on your sub. Are you eating it?
I'm just picking it off.
Okay, let's. How do we put him in a situation where he can't? Okay, let's
It's in a
just
burrito.
say it. Hypothetical situation, you can't take away the food you don't
Like it's cooked on there.
You just literally can't remove it. Even if
yeah.
like you could pick it off, let's just say it's stuck to it for some
Yeah, it's
reason.
like a
Well,
burrito. It's mixed into the burrito
If
stuff.
there's too much sour cream in something, like you messed up and put the sour cream, it's gonna feel like it's clogging my throat, and I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Like if you make enchiladas, put heavy on the sour cream, that's gonna be. You need to like take it in slow bites, otherwise it'll be like.
Yeah,
oh.
yeah, but that doesn't answer the question. Are you gonna eat something that you don't like if you have to?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
Like you have the option to just refuse it all
like
or
if
not.
there's meatloaf with ketchup in it, like sometimes they'll just put the ketchup on it. Like, well, I'm gonna scrape it off. I'll just eat it.
Let's just say you can't. You can't
Like-
get rid of the food you dislike.
Yeah, I'll eat it.
You'll just eat it?
Yeah, and then like burger. If I get a burger with ketchup on it, I usually just eat through the ketchup. I don't like ketchup. I'll be like, it's not that bad.
So
like,
what foods don't you like? Like ketchup, olives.
Like you get a pizza with olives on it. You can't take the olives off. You still eat the pizza.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I
Okay.
could still taste it. Like sometimes when I pick off olives on those frozen
Yeah.
pizzas, like sometimes I will taste an olive, be like, ugh.
So you don't dislike food enough to not
Yeah.
eat something if it's on
Yeah,
there.
if it's like really bad, and I'm like, if it's some like foreign dish that I'm like, oh,
Well,
I'm
my-
probably.
So like, do you? What was the question I asked before? The foods. What are foods you dislike? So ketchup, olives.
Yeah.
Mushrooms.
I like some mushrooms. I don't think they're too bad.
Is there like
Like
a vegetable
Alfredo
or fruit?
sauce. If I have it's fine the first time, but as I keep eating it more, I'm like, I feel sick. Like it makes me feel
Yeah, I've
sick.
heard you say that before.
Yeah.
Like even like when we went to like Olive Garden and
Yeah.
stuff, you said it then too.
Yeah, it's like I'm not like my body doesn't like I don't mind Alfredo sauce, but I don't think my body agrees with it.
So, I'm going to still stand behind the fact then that you're probably the least picky out of all 3 of us.
Probably.
There are foods that I refuse to eat. I will not eat them. And they're few and far in between. There's stuff I don't like. Like I don't like pickles, but if it's on a burger, I'll eat it. I'm not just going to eat a pickle. Same with tomatoes. I'm not just going to eat a tomato, but if it's chopped up in a salad or in salsa or on a burger or something, I'll eat it.
It's really interesting to me because it's like, it's never an issue. I'm an adult, you know. I make my own food,
Yeah.
so it's never really an issue anymore.
Like if there's a party and there's just a ton of food, I'm just gonna pick the food I like.
Yeah.
Like there's no way at like dinner parties you're not gonna see like food you're not gonna eat. Like you're gonna say there's like, oh, I have to pick that. Like no, you don't have to.
And like people don't feed me, you know. They're not really giving me food much
Yeah.
anymore. Like when I was a kid or something at my friend's house and stuff, it's a little different, you know. But nowadays it's just like I make my food. I don't want olives in it, so I don't put olives in it.
I think so I guess I'll pose the question again, but this is for all of us, and I'll go first, is a food that you refuse to eat no matter what. And mine, ever since I was a little kid, still stands to this day, I just can't stand them, is raisins. Raisins is a food that I refuse to eat.
Can you define refuse a little bit? Because
I
like
will not eat them. If a raisin accidentally gets in my mouth, no matter what,
You'll
I'm
spit
spitting
it.
it out.
Oh, wow.
I will not swallow a raisin.
See, I don't know if I've got anything I'll just actually spit out. I really dislike a lot of food, but if it somehow finds its way into my mouth, I'll swallow it.
I think it's for me. It is black olives. I just do not like the taste. I think it tastes very bitter. I just hate that. I hate the taste of black olives. It's just gross to me. It's like eating a very bitter. I guess it's a fruit. I don't know.
I think I'm arguably the most picky out of the three of us, but it sounds like you guys are hyper picky about specific things.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I dislike a lot of food. I don't like tomatoes. I don't like olives I don't like mushrooms. I don't like a lot of different things. But if like they find their way into my mouth because I missed them while picking them off or something, I'll just swallow. It's whatever. I'll hate it, but like I get a hamburger with mustard on it. Ugh, hate that, but I'll eat it. I'll just swallow it. It's whatever. It sucks because it's like I enjoy tasting food, and if it makes the taste bad, it's sad. But like whatever.
I think for me specifically with raisins, is it's a texture thing. Probably mostly the fact that it's a texture thing. I've never really liked raisins. I know some people eat them like fruit snacks.
I don't like raisins either.
But like I just won't eat raisins. Anytime I tried eating raisins as a kid, I'd vomit. I'd always vomit.
Yeah.
So I just don't do it. I stay away from them.
If I get like a cookie with raisins in it, I'll take the first bite and go, "Oh, there's raisins in this. Looks like I'm not finishing this cookie."
See, I'll get the raisins in my mouth, and as soon as I feel a raisin in my mouth, I won't.
Spit the whole
I
cookie?
spit the whole thing.
Yeah, I'll finish my bite and
Yeah, and then
swallow
I'm
it.
done with the cookie.
I definitely don't go for those cookies, but if I eat, it's like, oh, there's raisins.
You
Like, I
still
don't-
eat it?
I'm not too big on raisins, but I will eat them. Sometimes in the candy box, there'll be boxed raisins. Like, and just eat it.
Yeah, I'll finish whatever I'm chewing, but I won't finish the rest of the food if that's something I dislike.
Yeah.
But normally I try to find out before I get to that point, and then I like do some shenanigans. Like I trade people cookies and stuff. Like at my previous job, we'd eat at like Firehouse Sub or something like that, and they'd give us like cookies or whatever in the box lunches. And like I'd get my cookie and I'll look at it and go, "Oh, that's raisins. Who wants a raisin cookie?" I'm that guy.
Yeah.
I'm definitely that guy.
Although I don't know if the monster put raisins in cookie.
Yeah, whoever that monster
yeah.
is, yikes.
I'm pretty sure it's fine. Like,
Lots of people really like raisins. I don't know
Raisin
if I'm in
bread.
the minority or not with raisins, but
Yeah.
this is 3 gamers right here that dislike raisins.
I think might be
I
at
never
work
said I
gamers.
dislike raisins. I just say I don't really care much for them. I'll eat them. It's not a horrible
Well,
thing for me.
that being said, though, like you said, you'll still eat the stuff you don't like either.
Yeah,
I dislike
yeah.
raisins. What's the average people that dislike raisins? That's what Skylar's Googling right now.
Raisin. Why does the majority of people seem to hate raisins?
Funny, earlier today I looked up like how many women many women douche, and it's like very low, like 15%. And even doctors say like you shouldn't do it. It has health risks. Like I did not know that.
I'm very glad Scott Thane decided to bring that up.
Yeah.
Thank you for that incredible
I don't know, I just
conversation.
thought about it. It's like how many women do that? How many women
I'm
actually
really glad you're still talking about it too. It really makes this conversation about food great and even better.
I mean, they say
Sometimes you
it's
just
fun to
gotta
eat out.
Sometimes your brain, you just gotta not let the things come out of it.
monsters.
You just gotta not let the words come out.
Those
You know how like
intrusive
when
thoughts win.
you know how when you're driving a car and you see the other car and you want to turn into it because it'd be interesting to see what
Never had
happens.
that happen.
You have that thought, just like
No.
how you suppress that thought. Suppress your words out of your brain. Just suppress them. It's that easy.
Okay.
I can't with this man.
So, Thane, you had a topic earlier. You had a question you wanted to ask the gamers.
Speaking of, I had a question.
I'm scared.
It's like
Please help me.
how, what's a thing or a fact that you know that you wish you didn't? And there's one for me. and
Oh, well, I
it's-
just heard it 3 seconds ago from you.
And it's testicular torsion. The fact that your balls can get in that way. I wish I didn't know that.
What if it happens? Now you know how to get out of it.
I'll just let the doctor handle it. like, yeah.
Well, you're not gonna fondle your balls to get them untwisted.
Well, if they hurt very badly, I'm obviously probably gonna go to a doctor.
Is that works, guy? You just fondle them until they're fixed.
You'll probably make it worse that way.
I'm sure you would make it worse. You don't know what the freak you're doing down there. You barely know how to make yourself schmum.
I'm pretty sure sometimes when it's really bad, you have to go under the knife.
Weird facts that I know, though, I don't really know off the top of my head. I genuinely try to stay away from weird things like that.
Yeah, like anything that like
I know you get off on that stuff, Thane. I don't like to look in that stuff though.
Like it's just something you like. Oh, I wish I didn't know that. It could be. It doesn't have to be disturbing. Like, oh, I guess I just wish I didn't know that. Like,
Most of my knowledge like that comes from me spending time at hospitals, like working with my grandpa, who's a doctor. I learned a lot of really just the human body's weird, and the way that diseases and bacteria and stuff interact with the human body is also really weird. Have you guys ever heard of a disease called MRSA?
I don't know if I
the one
want
that
to.
eats your face.
It
No.
can. I think it's like adjacent to leprosy.
No, wait, that's Noma. Noma eats your face.
Anyway,
I wish I didn't know that either.
MRSA was always a bad one. If you get a vasectomy, don't go out dancing the next day because your balls will be swollen.
Snip snap.
Oh,
Yeah, if you get the snippy snip.
usually people like they get like a week off when they get a vasectomy because it hurts. Because like you just got the snippy snip. It's like, well, time to take it easy.
My grandpa told the story. He actually told it on this podcast. If you go watch, I think it's like episode 7. So it was many years ago. But he told the story of he did a vasectomy on a guy, and then he went out dancing that night, and his balls swelled up, and he had to go back into the hospital. And I'm just like, come on, guy.
How do you? Yeah, I don't have the question. Never mind. I take it back. I don't actually have a question.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the human body is really interesting, but there's a lot of weird facts that I think I probably could have lived without knowing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have any weird ones.
Huh.
I mean, like I said, I don't really like to look up stuff that's weird.
I'm dark and morbid.
There's some videos I've seen on the internet that I wish I could wipe away from my memory.
I've got one
yeah.
video that I wish I could wipe away, and it wasn't something I looked up because I don't look things up. It was something I was forcibly showed in school during advisory class one day. Some kid just pulled up this dark video of somebody, another guy, and he
Like-
made me watch it. I don't want to describe it. It's
like
graphic.
With a firearm or with a.
Nope, not a firearm.
Ooh.
Yeah, the internet is a dark place sometimes. I mean, you don't have to go to the dark places.
I don't even know if this was
Yeah.
real or not, but I'm assuming it was. And it was really hard to look away. It was kind of like a train wreck kind of thing. But at the same time, I was like, freak, dude, I just wanted to go to school. I don't want to see this.
There was one that I saw, and I think I showed Thane this. This was probably like junior high, early high school, but it was a video of like this. It was like a Somalian pirate or something, but some guy was getting punished, so he had his hand on a cinder block, and another guy came by with a hatchet and whacked at his hand, and he cut like most of his fingers off, and then he did another whack and cut the rest of them off. And then the guy kept his hand there, like whack, kept it there, whack, and then he just shakes his hand off like this.
Like
and
it was
walks
nothing?
away. Yeah.
And literally his reaction is, like he's in
like-
Sky. He's like an Oblivion NPC.
like,
Yikes.
What the heck, dude? That's one of them.
Like he's probably. I don't know if he's. I don't know if he's like on drugs or something because you react that way to get your fingers chopped off.
I don't
You
know.
must be on some kind of dopamine or something.
It's really interesting how I think the internet has overall gotten better, in a sense, for that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not impossible to find. I'm saying, like, you can't just be browsing very easily and stumble upon this stuff very easily.
Yeah, in order to find the real dark stuff, you have to download.
You gotta go looking now.
You have to download a certain Onion browser.
But even like, I've seen a lot of weird stuff on Twitter. Like, there's a lot of videos of people dying on Twitter.
You got some weird Twitter stuff, my guy.
But, well, here's the thing, though, is like most of them will have a graphic content warning, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Because then you don't
Sometimes-
have to look.
Yeah, and like in a few hours, it'll probably get taken off anyway because someone reports it.
Yeah, but also like gifts and stuff. People post horrible. Like I'll go into comment sections of posts and just see what other people are saying. I usually will, without a doubt, find boobs, an ass, a vagina.
What are
or
you following?
Somebody dying. It's just like I don't know. Like it'll be simple, just chill stuff that I think would be chill anyway. I'll click on it and then you just scroll enough.
Dude,
Wow.
there's just
I don't
trolls.
know what you're following.
Yeah, I don't
I've
know either.
never. I think
I don't even
Twitter's
have my
become
phone.
one of my number one. I'm not watching your Twitter. I mean, it's becoming my. It's become like one of my number one browsing things aside from Reddit. Like I almost check Twitter first thing in the day. That's probably like my first check because that's where I get news for like Pokemon, for example, and other things. But like. None of the things that I follow would ever remotely bring up that kind of stuff.
Man, every time I go on Twitter, I just see the trending tab and like I click on it. I'm like, why did I click on this? People are just being
I don't go to the
awful.
trending tabs.
Yeah, trending tabs like usually that's the cesspool of all people to like send out death threats to like something they don't like, and it's like you'll see all the mentally ill people there. I'm like,
Yeah, I only subject myself to the things that I follow on Twitter, and then the occasional thing that the people that I follow will like and stuff will show up. But because of I've like, what's it called? Like picked apart all of the things that I follow, those people do not follow or like any things that I would not want to see.
I don't know what you go on Twitter because like sometimes there'll be meme pages that show goofy memes, and all I'll find is like really weird and goofy pictures, and that's it. There's no like boobs. There's no penis.
I know you can find a lot of like porn and stuff on Twitter.
Yeah.
But it's not like popping up for me, which is surprising because of all of like the artists I follow. Like you'll see it occasionally, but it's not quite to what Skylar's saying. Apparently he clicks on the comment section and sees it instantly.
Well, some of it is like news stuff, and mind you, I have only been on Twitter for probably like a month or two, maybe 3 now. I don't know. But when I was first on Twitter, I kind of just watched everything. Like, whatever Twitter suggested to me, I'd watch. And there was a channel called Thieves Get Effed. And that's where I saw a lot of thieves dying. Like, I would watch that, and I'm like, just, damn. Like, you watch bad people die. And that probably started the rabbit hole
I'm sure.
of Twitter's like, oh, you like this?
Yeah, I basically only told Twitter, I just want Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Xenoblade. It's about all I want on Twitter, okay?
Nothing else.
And so, I guess some Apex stuff here and there. And like, I never go on the For You page, and I only look at the stuff that are my following. Yeah.
See, I don't ever go to following. I just go to
the quote unquote For You. That's what they call it now.
I think is it For You? But like, I still see people that I'm following.
Yeah, you'll see them there too. I never go to that thing. I remember when they first implemented it, they made you default to that, and I started seeing stuff that I wasn't following. I was like, what the heck is all this stuff? And then if you just swipe to the right, you can go to the stuff that are only you're following, and they must have like got rid of that defaulting to it because it never goes there for me now. It's only staying on the following thing.
Yeah, I definitely need to do that. And I don't even follow that many people. I think I follow like 5 or 6, and most of them are gaming channels.
And I never go to trending either. I only look at the stuff that I want to look at.
Yeah.
Very curated on my end anyway.
So yeah, usually like sometimes there'll be like posts that like mention something graphic, and then a bunch of replies say do not click hidden replies, because sometimes it'll be hidden in hidden replies because they'll hide it away.
True.
And sometimes they act fast upon it, and there's like, oh, there's nothing in the hidden replies. What are you talking about? It's like, oh, I'm supposed to act upon it. But it's like, yeah, you could probably find messed up stuff in there. Like, there are accounts dedicated to the naughty stuff, and I'm like, wow, okay. I remember there was like one account where it's like I think she's like a model, like a certain star, and there's just dudes down there showing their full stuff. It's like, please DM me, and just like their full package. And I'm like,
Like, this is what I'm working with. Let me know if you want some of this.
it's like, A girl opens her DMs. Oh, a dick pic.
I've seen there's like a lot of female influencers, if you will, that go on podcasts that I listen to, and sometimes the podcast host will ask them, how often do you get unsolicited dick pics? And the girls were like, all the time. Just,
Daily.
Yeah, daily.
It's so sad that happens. But do people actually think it's going to work for them? That they're going to go,
No.
wow, this person's wiener is phenomenal. I need this in my life. There's no ways people are actually thinking that, right?
Honestly, if I
There's
get
probably a few, but it's few and far in between.
if I get a DM where it's just a pair of boobs and a undercarriage, like
You think
it's
bot.
like
You're
a
like,
bot.
That's a bot.
That's a bot. Like, I don't care if you're actually a woman trying to seduce me. That's a bot.
The funniest part is like they're probably not ever bots when it's dudes
Yeah.
doing it. It probably
Yeah.
is just real dudes. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, here's my junk. You like?
Real dudes are that desperate.
Question mark?
Like, it's kind of sad how desperate dudes are.
Well, what's funny is you don't even have to be famous, I think, for this. I mean, I feel like lots of pretty girls that have somewhat of a following on social media probably get it often. But we have a friend who's gay, and he says all the time on the dating apps, he just gets dick pics sent to him.
You can send pictures on dating apps?
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Yeah,
That makes a lot more sense.
I think a lot of
Yeah,
dating
some of them
apps
have
do.
video chats.
Yeah.
Like, you can do video chats with people.
That makes more sense than pictures. Because, like, it's almost like you're meeting that person to an extent. Pictures really doesn't really do anything for meeting the person.
I mean,
You get to meet something. Meet some meat.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I love the internet, I really do, and I think you're right, Cole. I agree with you that you do have to go digging for stuff. I feel like algorithms are getting better at
filtering out.
filtering.
Just imagine you're, like, texting this girl over, like, Tinder or something like that. Oh, shoot. This conversation's going nowhere. Well, I'm going to pull out the old faithful. Here's my dick. You like it? And if she blocks you, then you lose. But if she doesn't block you, you win.
Have you guys ever had an experience with a bot? Like, I guess your first experience with a bot that you thought was a real person, and you're like, what the hell is this? It happened to me once. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced anything like that. Like, this was probably like 2016 or 17. I was still very new to social media. The girl I was dating in high school is the one that created all my social media for me, pretty much. So I didn't really use it. But on Facebook, I got a message from the girl that was really pretty, and she's like, "Hey, blah 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 blah," just the generic basic stuff. I didn't know though. I was like, okay, whatever. I was like 19, probably 19 or 20, and I was talking to my cousin. I'm like, "Do you know this chick?" He's like, "No, why are you even talking to her?" It's like, as I'm talking to him, she sends me a picture of, it's still the same girl, but it's just a picture of her butt ass naked, spread eagle, like all laying on a bed or something. And I'm like, I showed him, I'm like, what is this? And he's like, that's a bot, dude. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Here I am thinking I'm talking to this incredibly hot chick who's a real person.
I can't say that I've ever been fooled by a bot.
Yeah. Oh, I remember one time when I first got Facebook, I was like, I didn't really talk with anyone, like messaging apps or anything. So there's this girl who like gave me a friend request, like, hi, and she was DMs like, hi, how are you? It's like, great. I thought she was someone in town, and I kept talking to her. It's like, look, guys, look, it's a girl. And then I say, hey, just go to this website. It's like, that's a bot. I knew that was a bot instantly. I'm like,
I think because of how the way that I am socially, just in general, I know people won't reach out to me out of the blue if I don't know them already. And so I think that's why bots have never worked on me.
I think the other reason that this one was able to get me is because whenever somebody, because I think she sent me a friend request first.
Yeah.
And it shows who they're friends with of your mutual friends.
Correct.
So I saw that, and it was like 5 or 6 of my friends. I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
And I don't accept friend requests on those social media sites unless I know the person. That's just how I've always been.
Yeah, I think it's a smart idea. But I was just like, okay, well, if she's friends with these 6 guys that I know, but maybe she got them too.
I've had people like hack accounts and like try to talk to me. But I don't think they're bots. I think they're actual people trying to get information. And whenever I got those kind of people, I kind of just F with them a little bit. Like this is one time my grandpa's Facebook account got hacked. And this bot, I call him a bot, but I'm pretty sure it was somebody on the other side of the world that didn't know English very well, tried to speak to me, you know. And within like message like 2, I knew it wasn't my grandpa. Message 1, I was like, I mean, maybe, but probably not, because it doesn't really know Facebook that well. Yeah. And message 2 was like, oh yeah, it's definitely not him. And so I went on for probably 40 plus messages just chatting up this person, pretending like it was my grandpa. And then and every time they'd ask me like about like a pyramid scheme or something, I just completely divert the conversation. Like, no, I'm not really interested in that, but hey, how's this doing? And then like at the very end, I go, okay, look, dude, I know you're not my grandpa. He doesn't know how to use technology. Can you just please stop using his account? And he responds, okay, sorry.
Damn. You guilt tripped him out of.
I got him, dude.
Good job.
I'm like, I was basically like, I knew you right away you weren't my grandpa because he wouldn't have been able to get this far into Messenger. So like, yeah. He's just, sorry, okay, I'll stop.
Yeah.
That's the closest I've had to an experience like that, though, is messing with people that think that they're clever.
I remember a couple years ago on YouTube, we'd always get like porn bots just posting links.
I remember that,
all the time in our comment section.
Yep.
Yeah, you can kind of like, if you're not an old person, you could definitely tell like what's a bot, like by how they talk, and it's like, yeah, you're a bot, you're not human.
I think sooner rather than later, it's going to be a little bit better. These little bots are going to be a little bit better about simulating actual conversation rather than responding in a way that doesn't make sense to a conversation. But even still, I think it'll be kind of obvious for the reasons we've already talked about. Things like you don't know who this person actually is because it's the internet for one. And let's be honest, these scams are going to work on the people that are just wanting something.
Yeah.
Sad.
They're kind of probably designed to go on people that really don't have much social interactions in their life. And so these people might even know that they're just scams. They just want it. They just want the conversation.
Yeah, it's too bad. That's rough, buddy.
Yep. Yeah, so I guess for Thane's question, I don't really have an answer. And I guess for your question, Scott, I don't really have a situation similar.
I guess
sorry.
I guess this is an acceptable answer for you. That video, you wish you didn't know that video existed.
Yeah, that's the best I got. But I mean, like, even still, like, the video quality was pretty trash. And so my mind had to fill in the blanks a lot of the time. And, like, I can, like, picture it kind of. But at the same time, it wasn't like, I don't know. Like, it was very on the point where it could have been faked. It could have been real. Who knows?
Yeah. Earlier today I saw watched a little short from Wang, the content creator who talks about Reddit stories. He told a story about how like a guy was gonna go for a swim when he was at like a summer camp, and there's a rusty nail that stuck up and it kind of
Yikes.
ripped.
Oh.
It ripped like open his goods. And like when I heard that, I screamed. I was like, ah!
I saw one video. I don't know if I showed you guys or not, but there was this girl playing basketball, and she dove for a ball, and there was a piece of the floor that was sticking up like this. And so when she dove, it like hooked her leg.
Oh.
And just like she yanks too. It's like she's sliding and then yanks back. I'm just like, oh gosh.
Yep. Yikes.
That was a horrible video.
Like,
yeah.
ooh.
See, that kind of stuff I never see because I don't follow those things.
That was, I think that was one of those someone showed me.
Oh.
Because like even now, I get most of my memes still from you guys. I've come around a little bit because I have Reddit now, but.
Yeah, I remember the news story described she got impaled by a piece of wood, and it's like, oh.
I don't know if it went into her leg. I feel like it did.
I think it went to her waist.
Yeah.
But even like this kind of stuff, you all know not to show me them because I've made it very clear that I don't want to see any of that crap.
Yeah.
And so it's like I've just really like prevented myself from seeing that stuff. Yeah.
Which is a great thing in my opinion.
I feel like there's like some side of you guys that wants to see that kind of stuff, which is why you're okay with it just showing up in it every now and then.
It's definitely my my medical background. I think I'm just curious when it comes to things.
And Thane just like shocked factor.
Yeah, sometimes. Like, not everything.
He's just like, oh, there's a guy dying.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like, we've talked about it on the channel, on this podcast before, but like, I love watching surgery videos.
Not for me.
But I don't like watching people get hurt really bad. Like when somebody snaps their leg and their leg is dangling, that stuff makes me queasy.
I get this weird thing, and I feel like I've even said this on the podcast before now that I'm saying it out loud, but like I get this weird like sensation where I can feel their pain. And obviously like a fraction of it, but I can like feel it for half a second. And so that's another reason why I don't like it.
I just don't think I like seeing the body doing things that it shouldn't normally do.
Yeah.
It's like seeing stuff like that. But at the same time, I like seeing surgeries. I've seen a lot of like open heart surgeries, lung surgeries, C-sections. I love going on YouTube and just looking up all these different things.
Even like scars and stuff that people have that still have like stitches in them or something like that. I just don't even like that. And like that's fairly tame, honestly. But I can just be all like, "Oh shoot, I know what that was, though." You know.
Don't ever look up like brain surgeries.
No,
stuff
yeah,
like
I would
that.
never. Like my cousin, she had all that brain surgery stuff done to her. She'd always try to show me her staples on the back of her head while they were still healing. I would never. I would just close my eyes like, nope, I'm not freaking looking.
Sorry, go ahead.
My dad had several surgeries. Like he's like is hooked up to machines now, but like when it was really bad, like you could see like the scar right on his stomach, and then like when they put it in his arm, he like had a giant hole in his arm. And every time I look at that, I was like, oh, that's a giant hole in his arm.
Yikes.
And there's like a giant scar where that is.
Yeah, that would have got me too.
See, I don't think scars really bother me. Like I said, I think it's just when I see the body like contorted how it shouldn't be, or if it's cut open how it shouldn't be. I guess surgeries I can handle because it's more of a controlled situation, I guess. I don't know. My brain's weird.
And then, like, it's interesting for me, too, because I'm not really squeamish around blood specifically, but when it comes to actually, like, procedures and stuff like that, that stuff gets me. But on the flip side, in, like, a video game, nothing. Doesn't do anything to me.
Yeah.
I could watch somebody in, like, Gears of War blow up into a million pieces, and it's like, yeah, it's just a game. It's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely with you on that. It's a lot easier for me to see that than it happened to somebody.
Yep.
Even through video.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, I don't.
Well, on a lighter note, want to talk about something fun now?
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
a fun conversation?
Yeah.
So I thought about this a couple days ago, actually, because of Skylar's sibling, who was thinking of changing their major. And the topic is there a profession or multiple professions that you always kind of wanted to try out, just never did because you decided, I don't think that would fit me as well as it probably could or not, but maybe in another life I definitely went that route.
Yeah, I think one that's always piqued my curiosity is being an airplane pilot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love the idea of flying. And maybe because I never flew on planes until I was 18 years old, that could be part of it. Even today, I still love airplanes, but I was always intrigued by planes. I think being a pilot I could have done, but yeah, that's one of them. I got a few more.
Yeah, we can keep going. So the one that made me think of this was architecture. As soon as like Skylar started talking, that's what his sister was thinking about doing. I was out, like, I remember like doing like an art class and like being really excited about the architecture segment of the class, and just really always being interested in architecture and like designing in that aspect of making buildings and stuff. And I've always thought, dang, dude, it would be kind of cool to design buildings. I've always liked that idea. And I always like going to cities and stuff and seeing their old buildings and seeing how like the different features of them and all that. It's really, really fun for me.
I guess I was thinking of being a veterinarian at one point.
Yeah.
Maybe I could have, but I didn't.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's during high school. I was like, maybe I could have been a good veterinarian.
Like a vet for small animals or like livestock?
Something like that. Yeah, probably smaller animals. You have to, I think if you're going to be a veterinarian, you kind of have to start in general. Like you have to like start knowing farm animals and then you know small animals. Like I think you just have to know everything
Yeah.
just in case. But like when you go in like a specific profession, I'm pretty sure it's like a pet veterinarian or a livestock veterinarian. It's probably more convenient to know veterinarian for everything. I'm pretty sure there's just people who are specialize in one field over the other. Yeah. Always wanted to make a video game though. It's my lifelong dream. I mean, I can't have it die yet. There are ways to make video games. It's never actually probably been easier to make a video game, honestly, with all the tools.
And you could literally learn how to code just from YouTube alone.
Yeah. I mean, I've tried coding. I went to school for it twice. Well, once. Another time was for video editing, but yeah, like it's really hard. Like I don't know if it was just the class I was taking. Pretty sure if I learn at my own pace instead of like having it do it as like homework, I'm pretty sure I can learn it better.
Do you remember what language it was?
C++ probably.
Okay, because I know Python is the big one. Like right now, the one that most people learn is Python.
Yeah.
But that's mostly, I think, probably for web development. I don't know how
Yeah.
much that plays into like game development.
I was going for web design, so it might have been either Python or C++, one of those.
Nice.
Java. Well, Java's kind of like the stuff that helps with coding, but I learned some things like I can't remember something run
DMC.
.exe. Oh my gosh.
The little bit of coding I always did back in the day, I think it was on C#. I just remember doing a lot of if-then statements.
Yeah, that was like true-false statements too.
Yeah.
Remember that? I really wish I did, but I'm pretty sure like I think for me it'd be easier to learn independently than from a course. 'Cause you gotta learn a lot of stuff, especially web design. Web design's like the low end of coding. And like doing anything else, like coding for machines or making a video game, that's a higher end stuff. But yeah, I couldn't even do the lower end stuff. It's hard for me.
I don't think it's easy. I mean, if it
No.
was, everybody would code.
Like-
It really is learning a new language.
Yeah.
There's a huge demand for it right now, so everyone probably would learn it.
Yeah.
What else you got, Sky?
I think ever since I was a little tiny kid, I always wanted to be a musician because I grew up, my dad was in a band for like the first 13 years of my life, 14 years of my life. So I'd go to a lot of his shows and then he would just leave for like a week at a time and he'd go tour different places and always come back. And ever since I was a little kid, I always wanted to play music. And I think that's always a profession that I still think about frequently of like, it'd be really fun to write my music,
Hey,
write my own music and go tour.
Lots of YouTubers make their own music.
Yeah, but I also learned that I don't like living out of a suitcase.
That's true.
So here's the great dichotomy of my life.
Well, some YouTubers don't even make music go on tour. They do like meetup tours or comedy tours or whatever.
And I think I could do it just because I would know that I'm not leaving for long periods of time. I mean, I guess like a month or 2 months is kind of a long period of time, but I don't know. I still think I could do it now. There's just a time in my life where I lived out of a suitcase for a very long time, like years, and I did not enjoy that. I like the idea of having a place that is mine and I can go there and I'm safe.
I'm safe.
I'm safe.
Another one for me, and this one I always liked the idea of this back when I was in high school specifically, but I always wanted to be a high school teacher. Actually, I kind of liked the idea of, I don't know, just like helping other students essentially, because I mean at the time I was a student, but I always liked that because I always liked the teachers that like tried to connect with the kids a little bit, and so I always thought it'd be fun to do something like that and try to like make kids not want to hate themselves in high school, because in my mind high school is the easiest thing you could do, and so if you can't finish high school then you just didn't care, and so I would try to be the teacher that like made them care enough to finish.
Yeah, it makes them want to actually go to school.
Yeah, and so that's one of the things I always kind of thought it would be a really fun thing to do. I don't know what subject I would teach. I don't know if it'd be like just something I actually enjoy, like tech or something like that, or an actual subject like math or something. I don't know, but I always kind of liked that idea of being a teacher. I think it'd be kind of fun.
I've definitely thought about that one too.
Never.
Never?
No. I never liked school. It's like, oh man, I can't wait to get out of it.
Do you think you could be a high school teacher at your high school, or would you want to go to a different high school where no one knows you?
I don't think it would matter, because at the point, if I'm doing it at the school that I went to, then like none of the students are gonna know me, for example. That's all I really care. Like some of the teachers might know me, but it's just like I don't even talk to anybody anyway, so why would I talk to them too?
What if you become friends with them?
It could be, very well could be.
You start dating a fellow teacher.
Yeah, very could happen. But I specifically didn't want to do like anything younger than like junior high, because I wanted to teach kids that weren't kids, that were like clever, I guess, not just like going through the motions. I wanted to be able to, I guess, make a difference. I don't know what saying like younger teachers don't make a difference. I still remember a lot of my teachers back even like in first and second grade. But like, I don't know, it would just seem like more of a challenge to try to teach an older group of kids than a younger, in different ways. Because like a younger group of kids, the main thing you're really doing is trying to corral them. You're trying to, teach them the basics, but also corral them. And whereas the older, they're trying to become people that they want to be. They're trying to become a person. And you're not babysitting. I mean, sometimes you definitely are babysitting, right, even in high school. But for the most part, it's like these people are trying to figure out what they want to do with their life. And I think it'd be fun. I like that aspect.
Yeah, I think that's one of the toughest decisions everybody has. And some people spend 10 years trying to figure that out. Some people spend their whole lives trying to figure out what they want to do with it.
And most of those thoughts start happening in high school.
Right. And
so that's why I liked that. That was the kind of age group I would want to teach if I was a teacher.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That said, I don't know if I could just do a normal subject, because I'd want to do a subject that would be able to be more involved with the students rather than, yep, we're in English class, guys, read the book, I guess that's a little different because they're writing papers and stuff and bringing them to you. Math class, yep, here's the book, we're doing these problems today, kid. It's not very involved with the students and stuff. English could be fine. I probably could have done English. That was a bad first example as what not to do, because that's exact opposite. That English teachers typically try to be more involved than other teachers.
I think another thing that's always interested me, and we get to do that with YouTube, is writing. I've always loved writing. Yeah, I think writing has always interested me. I've always wanted to be a writer, and with us being able to do YouTube, we do a lot of writing. So that's something that's always interested me. Maybe one day I'll write a book.
Do you have any more professions?
I wrote some short stories when I was younger. They're bad. But I've always kind of wanted to create a fantasy world, but I always wanted to make it with art. I wish I could draw.
Dude, I wish I could draw too. Oh, man. Because I'm with you there too. I've been tossing around some really solid ideas, and I think they're solid. Some ideas that I've kind of wanted to do something with, but I just keep envisioning it, and I'm like, freak, I can't write this. It's in my brain as a picture, so it's really hard for me because I can't draw, and I very bad at describing things in detail enough to where you wouldn't need the picture. But yeah, I kind of wish I was better at writing in that aspect. I've got 2 more quick ones I could just throw out. So they're kind of for the same reason, but they're vastly different ideas. So the first one, and it's kind of like a 2-for-1, honestly, if I'm being honest. I want it to be either a barista or a bartender, and they're basically the same, just different crowds essentially. And the reason is because you get to see a bunch of different people, and I enjoy people watching, and it's essentially you get to be a part of their lives, I guess, for that split second. Sometimes they even talk to you about what's going on in their lives, and it's like people watching to the next level, and I always thought that was very fascinating. And on the flip side, the other one, it's for the very similar and same reason, but I've always thought about it'd be fun to be an Uber/Lyft/ just a taxi driver, because you're in that one-on-one situation with another person. And I thrive in small groups or one-on-one situations more so than I do in large groups. I don't do very well in large groups socially. I can get by, but I don't really talk much in a large group socially. I typically do far better in a one-on-one situation. So specifically in a taxi car, what's more one-on-one than there's some dude in your backseat telling you about his day at work while he needed to drive or ride home from the bar or something like it,
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, like, that's one of those things. It's almost like a mini therapy thing, but I can't be held accountable for any of the stuff that I say because I'm not a therapist. and after I drop them off, I never have to see that person ever again.
True.
And so like none of the obligations of a relationship happen as a result. It's very, very selfish, obviously. But I just have always been fascinated by the human story, and what's more of a human story than being a taxi driver and hearing people's human stories, their life.
Yeah.
Isn't that one anime, Odd Taxi?
No, and I think I'm gonna pick that one at some point soon. By the way,
We'll talk about another podcast.
It's definitely not a.
There is a game where it's like you're playing as a lady in looks like a vaporwave setting, taxing. She's hearing stuff. She's trying to find someone. I'm pretty sure there are more games where you're just playing as a taxi driver, listening to people.
I know there's stories and stuff out there that are literally what I described.
Yeah,
like people just being taxi drivers and listening to other people's.
The movie. That's the movie Taxi Driver's different. It's about a guy. It's less about his profession, more about his mental psyche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always thought it'd be just a fun thing. And someday I'd definitely like to try it. I mean, how hard is it to be a Lyft? Uber/Lyft.
I think you just need to live in a bigger city.
For sure. And like maybe in 10 years when I actually decide to go that avenue for fun, the city that we live in will be bigger and actually be needing of it.
Isn't there a movie where there's a taxi driver and then a dangerous guy gets in? He's like holding him hostage.
Probably.
I know there's like some movies where it's like keep driving, don't get out of the car.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
It's a pretty common thing.
yeah, like Speed.
Like how often do you think would I be held at gunpoint? How crazy is that to think about?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of those videos on Twitter too.
Very interesting.
Don't cabbies have guns? Well, I guess in that situation it doesn't matter.
Some might.
Yeah. I think they are like legally obligated to carry a firearm in the car.
I don't think that's true. I don't think any profession is legally obligated to carry a firearm other than a police officer.
Might have been a Family Guy bit. Sorry. But I mean, I guess it depends on the driver. You could probably have a concealed carry.
Oh yeah, you could if you want to. I'm sure. I just don't think it's an obligation.
No,
It depends on the company.
Nobody's
guess.
gonna force you to have a gun.
Yeah. I don't think the word obligated was the like you are legally
Recommended.
Allowed.
legal. I think obligated was the right word. Like
No,
you can or cannot. have a
Obligated
gun.
means you're like
Okay.
required to
Oh,
almost.
okay.
You should
That's
be
not
doing
the right
this.
word. They're legally
You have
advised, maybe.
you have the
allowed
right to
to.
it. Yeah,
Allowed, yeah.
allowed to.
I don't know what it would be. I don't know what the official word is, but legally allowed to do it.
Yeah.
You have the legal right to do it.
I
There
feel
you
like
go.
it depends on your state as far as like concealing carry, right?
Yeah.
Is it subjugated?
I don't think it's subjugated, is it?
If you're in a vehicle with a gun, no matter what, is that considered concealed carry?
Unless it's on the seat
Yeah.
or something. If you can't see it, it's concealed. If it's like out and about, then it's not, obviously. Like people with like the gun racks and behind their head on their pickups and stuff. That's not concealed at all. Anybody can see that.
People put that in their pickups. I've never seen.
Like, you know, like the single cab pickups where it's like a bench seat, and they have the window back here. Like the window's like literally like right behind their head like this.
Yeah.
A lot of times they'll get like little racks. They'll just have like gun right there, like a couple guns, like when they're going hunting and stuff.
Oh, that's probably.
There you go. Thane got it, or Sky got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. Yeah. See,
Oh.
That's on the hood.
that's on the hood. I've not seen it on the hood ever, but that's the most common I've seen.
I've definitely seen this before.
Yeah, that's definitely not concealed.
That's kind of cool.
That's for hunting. Like,
The ram
it's
box, that would be concealed. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we don't count that as concealed inside of a toolbox like things, because that's almost just like putting it in a gun case. And like, if you're transporting it, then it's not really like you're carrying it, you know?
Yeah. I don't do enough with guns to even know. I own a gun. I shot it one time.
Did you hit your target?
I didn't shoot it at anybody. I was shooting at a target. I wasn't even sighting it in. It was more so. I guess you can sight in pistols.
You don't really need to.
Yeah, you don't need to.
Basically,
Basically,
they should come sighted in.
if you're like 10 feet or more away, maybe a little bit farther than that, you're gonna miss, unless you're really good at shooting.
Wait, what? You're gonna?
Not 10 feet, like farther away. That maybe like 10, I don't know, 20, 30 feet.
Still hit.
That's a tough shot.
It's tough. Depends how big your target is, though.
That's true.
I'm pretty confident I could do it.
We were shooting and we were doing it, just not often.
Oh.
Like, we're like 3-4 yards away. Yeah, we were hitting our targets. But then you take more steps back, it's tricky. But we weren't shooting big things. We were shooting like pop cans.
We should go shooting sometime.
I'd be down.
I'm pretty. It's been a while since I've shot, but I was a pretty decent shot.
I'm
even
better
with
at
a
shooting a
pistol.
shotgun, like shooting clays, than I am shooting a handgun.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm better with a handgun than a shotgun.
Because, like, sitting here and shooting the wall, that's easily. You could easily hit that.
Yeah.
So this is probably, like, what, 4 yards? 3 or 4 yards?
What about, like, from here to the furnace? And, like, say it's not that big. It's like a little pop can on the ground or something. You hitting that?
I could probably hit it.
I'm hitting that all day. I'll probably miss a couple, but I think I'm hitting that all day. Well, everybody, hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the podcast. We had a little cut halfway through at some point where our camera died.
Thane, you can't play Persona
Not
on
Thane.
camera.
No more Persona for Thane, not until February when the game comes out. We do YouTube, so check it out. I don't know what else to say.
And that's about it.
That's about it. If you like anime, we do that too in a podcast form. You can check that out too. Oh, we didn't put the little picture up in Chizuru. Sorry, Chizu. You missed out on the anime girl this time. Sorry, everybody. See y'all later. Have a good one. Keep it rad.
Bye.